All right. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Friday night. It is 7 p.m., and that can only mean one thing. It is time for this week's Histo Chat podcast. Live right here on the YouTube. Matt, what is up? How are you doing, my friend? How was your week? Wolf, how are you doing, my friend? How was your week as well? We go ahead and get our weekly little footage here going. We haven't looked at the Ship of Dreams in a long time, so I figure it is time to take a little look at her again. Joining us this week on the shelf, we have the Big U, the SS United States. We have, of course, the USS New Orleans. No boat was her nickname. And she is the subject of the videos of the week for the past 2 weeks. Of course, I've got the little 3D print of Britannic there. And we have Wolf's favorite Cunard ship, the RMS Mauritania. So let's get rolling here. Matt says, I'm getting better, getting over being sick. Yikes. No energy, tired, but better. I hope you continue to get on the stay on the mend, dude. Hope you didn't have anything serious, no flu or corona or anything like that. Wolf, glad to see you're doing well, my friend. Wolf's been watching some classic Godzilla movies lately. I want to see the -1 or -0, whatever it's called. Um, I don't know if there's any theaters close to me playing it. I'm gonna have to look into that. Whew. Not even 2 minutes in, and I'm doing that stupid yawning thing. Matt, yep, I think it was just a bad cold. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that that's all it was, and nothing too major. If I can adjust the camera there a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So yeah, here we are taking a look at Titanic, and down here at the bottom, you can't see it, but here we are. RMS Olympic, still lying in wait for me to start building, but I'm probably not going to start the build on this until after New Year's, because I've got one that I'm working on right now that I am working on finishing up. Wolf, in reference to the Godzilla movies, I want to see the new one too, but I'll have to wait until they release it for streaming or purchase. Yeah, I'll probably wait till streaming as well, provided it's on a platform that I have access to, which at the moment is only Peacock. So I don't know what company owns it or is going to stream it, whatever, but hopefully it's Peacock. Matt says, I actually read that yawning like that could mean that your room is not ventilated well and your body could need a bit more oxygen. Yeah, well, I mean, there you go. There's science right there. I'm not sure. I tend to do it when I just start talking a whole lot at one time. Here it goes again. But maybe I'll put a fan on or something. Test that theory out. You never know. But anyway, yeah, I think we're looking at Titanic this week, and I believe we're going to be looking at a couple of warships as well. That's usually the case. Actually, still, Mike Brady released an update, like a text update on YouTube, either today or yesterday, about his Grand Voyage game, and according to that, just nothing too much in terms of details. It's just it's coming along smoothly. Is basically what he said. And of course, you all know I'm really, really excited about that because it will give us the opportunity to look at more classic ocean liners. And it won't be in the very beginning because the only ship that I am familiar with that's going to be in that game on launch is the Empress of Ireland. but it'll still be cool to see that ship. He has said that eventually Aquitania will make its way into the game. I'm a big Aquitania fan, as you guys know. So looking forward to seeing her in that game. And who knows what else. Maybe United States, maybe Mauritania, maybe Queen Mary. There's the options are limitless. The only ship I don't think we'll see at some point is Titanic, because he is in a collaboration with Titanic Honor and Glory, and they're working together. So we may not see Titanic in his game, at least not in the beginning. Maybe we'll see Olympic and Britannic though. So keep an eye out for that. So, having said all that, we're a week away from Christmas. How's everyone's Christmas shopping going? Are you guys all about done with that? I recently finished up. We're checking out a little outhouse here. I've said it a million times, but I can never get tired of looking at this ship. And of course, as I've mentioned, eventually I'm going to have models where I'll have Titanic, I'll have Olympic, and I'll have Britannic, all in the same scale, 1 to 700. Holy crap. Matt contributing $10 to the stream with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I truly, truly appreciate that. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you so much. And I can't do it without you guys here to chat with me each week. It wouldn't be much of a live stream. I'm just sitting here rambling to myself. So, you guys get as much credit for that as well. I love that we have like a little core group that is here every week, between the three of us. And sometimes, we'll get other visitors to the chat. Nathan, for example, my buddy Bill Keys, that's on YouTube. If you like Call of Duty, that's mostly what he streams. But every now and then he will stop by as well. So and then a few other random people here and there. So I feel like the channel is in a good place right now, and really you guys contribute to that more than what you realize. Be it either watching the videos, hanging out with me here on the chat, hanging out in Discord, every little thing. And we picked up a new member in the Discord server today. His screen name is B, the letter B, and Milan. And he has actually been helping me, advising me basically on what I need to do to successfully convert a 1 to 700 Revell Titanic model into the Britannic. And he found some great a place where with some great 3D printed stuff that is accurate to the Britannic that you can use on the Titanic model. And that's one of the things that I'll be focusing on next year, because I really want to have all the Olympians in the same scale and have them here up on the shelf with us all the time. Matt says, "You're welcome. I'm happy to see your channel growing." Well, it doesn't grow without you guys, and I'm being serious. Without you guys, it doesn't grow. So I love the little community that we've built, either via right here on the chats and on the Discord. We're getting a lot more people commenting and interacting on the polls and the quizzes that come out each week. I've got a few comments on those that I need to reply to today. I've not forgotten about that. If anyone is that's made comments recently has, if you're watching, I've not forgotten about you. Been pretty busy at work this week. A lot's been going on. So I've been a bit tied up and not able to reply to as much of that stuff as quickly as I normally can. But here we are, looking down the Titanic again. And Matt, you need to start streaming again too, man. I know you got a little time on your hands right now. You need to start streaming again. play some of that American Truck Sim. I thought about, speaking of which, let me know what you guys think in the chat. What I've been thinking about, just not another dedicated stream night, but maybe just randomly, like one night a week, or maybe even on the weekends. Maybe do stream a video game for an hour or two. Maybe something like American Truck Sim. I can't stream warships. I have tried to live stream warships in the past, and I don't know if it's something with my connection, but I think it is, where it lags down so bad, and my FPS drops so bad when I try to live stream that game. I don't know why. If I'm not streaming and I'm playing the game, it runs perfectly fine. But if I try to live stream it, I don't know. I just have issues with it. The blue ribbon. I know that thing. Great to see another channel promoting history, especially about ships. Welcome, welcome, Blue Ribbon. Welcome to our channel. Um, I am a huge ship nerd, and we've got some ship nerds in here with us as well. Whether it's ocean liners, whether it's old warships, I am a huge history nerd, and I love talking about ships. That's the majority of what our live streams are all about. So, you know, I you're certainly welcome to come hang out with us each week. We do this every Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a Discord server where we talk a lot about ships and history. If you're interested in come and hang out with us there, we've got a small community, but we have an active community, and it's pretty laid back. I'm blessed to say that we don't have any drama, because we don't. We talk about a lot of history, a lot of lighthearted stuff, movies, TV shows, stuff like that. So, it's a pretty chill, relaxed community. Matt says, bet if we drop a new RTX graphics card in your PC, it would work. Probably. I guess it's something we could look into. Of course, I got to see first if my computer would be able to handle that. My computer's it's a few years old now, 3 or 4 years old. Wolf says, look at all that coal. What you bring up something, Wolf, and we're about to transition to another ship, but you know about Titanic having a I'm getting tongue tied here. Do you know about Titanic having a 3-degree list to port throughout the majority of the voyage? I'll wait for you to comment on that. You have D-deck reception here. This is for those of you who were in the if you watched the Cameron movie, when not Jack, but when Rose and her crew were all boarding the ship in the beginning of the movie, this is where they would have boarded, except on the opposite side. They would have boarded on the port side. This here is the starboard side. All right, here we go. We're transitioning, and we're going to look at some warships footage. And it's the USS North Carolina, the showboat. We haven't seen her in a while. Blue Ribbon, I'm pretty active on Discord. If you can drop me the channel link, that would be great. I will definitely do that for you. Let's see. Let me get that for you, if you can bear with me a second. Let's see. Was anyone else having a problem with Discord earlier, where certain channels you couldn't access? Because I was having that issue. I couldn't even access our own channel, for example. Let's see. Let me copy link, and I will post that in the chat here. And there it is. It's in the chat, Blue Ribbon. If you have any issues joining, please let me know. But yeah, we were talking about the coal for a minute. So for those who may not know, when Titanic set sail, there was a coal fire in the I believe it was number six, this number six coal chute, and there are conspiracies around that, bunch of BS conspiracies. So we're not going to talk about that crap. But anyway, Blue Ribbon says Discord had a big issue about an hour ago. Yeah, so I'm like on 5 or 6 different Discords, including our own, of course, and I was only able to access one. I forget, it said something about I forget exactly what the error message was, but it was funny. I was able to get into Discord on my PC, but not on my phone. But now I'm able to get back on my phone again. But yeah, going back to Titanic for a minute, there was a coal fire on the port side of the ship, and one of the ways they oh wow, we got a Citadel right off the hit or off the bat. One of the things they did to try and help extinguish the coal fire was the majority of the coal that was on that side of the ship. They moved it over to the port side of the ship, so it would help them put out the fire. And they moved so much coal that the weight of the coal was unevenly distributed, and it caused a 3-degree list to port throughout the vast majority of the voyage. So, of course, there's a lot of pictures, well, not pictures, but artwork of, Titanic at sea, and she's sailing on an even keel when she really didn't. She was sailing with a 3-degree list to port for most of the voyage. So, just a little fun facts if anyone may not have known that. Yeah, here we go. We're looking at USS North Carolina now. And I don't think that North Carolina was never actually painted in this camouflage. It's just like a random camouflage you can use in World of Warships. So, and I dig the way it looks. So, yeah, that's why we're looking at her like this. We'll have one more ship after North Carolina. So we'll be looking at North Carolina for a good bit here. So, Blue, just out of curiosity, how did you find my channel? I'm just curious. Matt, how long was the journey across the ocean in White Star Line ships? It depends, Matt. Really, if you're talking about the Olympic class, I want to say average was 5 to 6 days. In the Olympic class ships. Wolf, North Carolina is probably one of the few ships to have a camo. And fun fact, North Carolina is still painted in camo today. As you know, I toured the North Carolina last year, and beautiful ship. Love the camouflage on the ship. They were doing a lot of restoration on the ship, so we didn't get to do as much of the tour as I would have liked to have done, but we still got to see a good chunk of it. See, I saw your video of your visit to the Queen Mary. Actually, Blue, I've never been to the Queen Mary. It's at the top of my wish list. I do have a couple of videos where I built a model of the Queen Mary. No, unfortunately, I have never been physically to the Queen Mary yet. I definitely want to, though. But since you mentioned the Queen, I'll show you what my model looks like real quick. Okay, so let's see. So here is my model of the Queen Mary. I built this earlier this year. I forget the exact scale of it, but she is the largest model to date that I have built. And I am over the moon happy with how this model came out. This one and the North Carolina, coincidentally, are my two of my personal favorites that I've built. And yeah, she came out amazing. For someone who just started doing this earlier this year. I'm really proud of how this one came out. And Queen Mary is my favorite Cunard ship by far. So yeah, that's the Queen. Blue says, yes, that's the model. Very nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Uh, Dazzle Camo, Blue also says, Dazzle Camo on a ship is great, especially the Olympic. Hell yes. And I've got this guy right here that's going to be built, and I'm so tempted to do Olympic as HMT Olympic because she had two different dazzle paints during the war. I'm a personal fan of the first dazzle paint that she had over the other, but I mean they both look great. I would love to paint her as HMT Olympic, but man, I don't know if I could do it. The level of patience it would take for me to do that, I just don't know if I could do it. And also, taking into account physical changes that happen to the ship, because as you know, like even the model here says, you know, Olympic 1911. So this is Olympic in her original configuration. And of course, as we all know, there were changes to Olympic internally and some external, but not a whole lot, mostly with like lifeboats and stuff. But there were changes to the ship after Titanic sank. Will says, making her HMT Olympic would be awesome. Oh, I agree completely. I would love to have that, have her in her dazzle paint, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I think I'm just going to stick with making her how she originally was. So, Blue, you're a fan of Olympic. I got two questions for you, sir. What is your favorite White Star ship? What is your favorite Cunard ship? And heck, while we're at it, what is your favorite Navy ship? Doesn't have to be American. It could be, whatever Navy ship is your favorite. Hit us with it. Let's see what you got. I happen to know personally that Wolf here's favorite Cunard ship is Mauritania. Am I correct on that, Wolf, or is it Queen Mary? It's Queen Mary for me. I'd probably put Mauritania at number 2, and probably a tie for number 3 between Lucy and Aquitania. Will says, I don't think I ever asked you what is your favorite U.S. battleship. So right off the top of my head, I would tell you the Mighty Mo would be my favorite battleship because, okay, so I did get it right. Mauritania is Wolf's favorite Cunard ship. So, and of course, here she is. Let's bring her into the forefront here. RMS Mauritania, another model that I am super thrilled with how I got it, how the job I did on this ship. I'm really happy with this one. So anyway, I would tell you right off the bat, Mighty Mo, because of her history, her significance in history, with the formal surrender of the Japanese on the decks of the Missouri. But at the same time, this won't surprise you at all. USS Kidd would probably now be tied for her just because, and we've talked about this before, a ship that you can actually go on and you can see it, you can touch it, you can walk its decks. There's something to be said for that experience. And with a ship like the Kidd that has history, that saw action, that saw tragedy, you have to appreciate that and respect that. And to know that when you're on that ship and you're standing in a spot where a kamikaze attack happened on that ship, it's kind of sombering in one way, but at the same time, it gives you an appreciation for not only the people who perished on the kid, but people who fought in that war altogether. So, for those reasons, the personal experience you can have, I got to put the kid probably at the top of the list as well. So, Blue says for his favorite White Star ship. Okay, here we go. So, okay, White Star line is tough, but I would probably say the big four: Celtic, Cedric, Baltic, Adriatic. Yeah, and a lot of people would probably agree with you on that as well. Um, let's see. For me, I go with the Olympians because Titanic is the ship that got me into ships. So usually when someone says, "Hey, what's your favorite ship?" I normally default to Titanic because it's the one that got me into all of this stuff. But the past few years, I've kind of been leaning more towards Olympic because, she was a war veteran. She was the only merchant ship to sink an enemy vessel in World War II. Her longevity, her track record, her success, her old reliable nickname. Um, for those reasons, I tend to, at times, if you ask me, depending on any given day, I'll probably tell you Olympic. Let's see. So for his Cunard ships, he says Queen Mary would have to be my favorite because I have been personally attached to the Queen Mary for decades. Okay, nice. If you don't mind me asking, in what way did you have someone, a loved one or a relative that sailed or worked on the ship? Have you toured the ship? What is your connection, if you don't mind me asking? Let's see, but if we put QM aside, I've always been very fond of the green goddess, Coronia. Okay, nice. I have to admit I'm not as familiar with that ship as I am some of the more famous, Canard ships, Lucy, Mauritania, Aquitania, Queen Mary, for example, Queen Elizabeth, uh, shoot, Queen Mary too. Where we had I put some bunch of questions for our weekly quizzes about Mauritania 2 this week on the channel. That says, been thinking about the Lego Titanic lately. Um, it doesn't have to be said how bad I want the Lego Titanic. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. It remains to be seen. But if they are, in fact, discontinuing the Lego Titanic next year, I am gonna put forth my best effort to try and get one. I can't guarantee you that I will, but I would definitely try because I would really like to have the Lego Titanic. I think it looks great. And there is another company. It's kind of like Lego, but it's not Lego. It's called Histo Brick, and they make a lot of the old ships. So most of the Canard ships, the White Star ships. I'm sure there are others I can't think of off the top of my head. They make a bunch of Lego style ships like the Lego Titanic, but it's all of these other ships. I love the concept, and I think it's a great idea, and I can appreciate someone doing that, but they're not quite what I'm looking for in terms of models of these old ships. So that's why I kind of stick to, for like these ones behind me where I just kind of build them. And I realize these are nowhere near as accurate, these older models, because that's what most of these are, but they're close enough for me. Let's see. So here's Blue concerning the Queen Mary. Father and uncle immigrated to the U.S. in 1959. I am from SoCal, so I grew up with Queen Mary in my backyard. That is amazing. I worked aboard Queen Mary in the 1990s in several positions, but tour guide being the most important. That is amazing, Blue. That is amazing. Man, and I'll tell you, the closest I've ever gotten to the Queen herself was last year in January. We took a trip out to San Diego. We had a loved one of mine that joined the Marine Corps, and he went to boot camp in San Diego. Um, Unfortunately, we were only there for a very short amount of time. We had to get back as soon as we could. So our leisurely time that we were able to see sights and tour stuff, we didn't really leave San Diego at all. But so that's the closest I've been to the Queen. I will say though, like I said, she is on my bucket list. I want to see the Queen Mary in person. I want to tour that ship so bad. It's at the top of my list as as far as bucket list items. And I know Wolf and I were talking about. We've talked about this several times. Where if you go to the Queen Mary, you can knock out two birds in one stone because you've got USS Iowa. I think less than an hour away from the Queen Mary, so you can see the Iowa and you can see the Queen Mary all in one trip, and that is an extreme bucket list item for me. And by the way, you may follow this guy already, Blue, but there is a guy on YouTube, Alex the Historian, and the vast majority of his videos are about the Queen Mary. And I know he's been on the ship a number of times. If you've never seen his channel, I would recommend checking him out because he has way more knowledge about the Queen than I do. Let's see. Let's see. Bruce also says favorite warship. I agree with you. Iowa class BBs. Oh yes, 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 yes. The funny thing is the closest Iowa to me. I live in Louisiana. The closest one to me is the Big Whiskey, BB-64, USS Wisconsin. And she will be on my bucket list as well. I would love to see all four Iowas. Of course, Mo is she's the be all end all, the top of my list. But I could be. I don't know if I could get to Virginia in a day. Driving, obviously flying, yes. But if I wanted to drive there, I could get over halfway there and be there the next day if I wanted to drive to it. Let's see. Blue says, did you tour Midway while in San Diego? Yes, we did tour the Midway. So I'll give you a run through of all the ships that I have toured. So I've been on the Midway. Let's see. In Galveston, there is the USS Stewart and the USS Cavala. I recently did those. In fact, last month in November, I went to those. I did a dry dock tour of the USS Texas. That was actually my main reason for being out there. Of course, the USS Kidd in Baton Rouge. That's the ship I've been on the most because it's about an hour drive away from me. The USS Alabama and USS Drum in Mobile, Alabama, because the Drum is actually at the Alabama Museum. So those two. And USS North Carolina. So those are all the ships that I've toured. Wolf, haha, I am great friends with him, and we are on each other's live streams. That's nice. That's really cool. I can't watch his live streams, unfortunately. Usually, he streams like in my time. It's usually like right after lunch. While I'm still working. So it's like between lunch and dinner when he's streaming. So I don't really get to check out his live streams. But I have watched a lot of his videos, and I really do enjoy his channel. I am subscribed to his channel. I'll be on his live stream as co-host tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific. So that would be 4 o'clock my time. I will set a reminder on my phone, and I will try to check in on that tomorrow because that would be really cool. So I really enjoy his channel. He's obviously very knowledgeable about the Queen, and like I said, she's my favorite Cunard ship. So I will make an effort to try and be there. Wolf says, I would love to see USS Wisconsin the most. Wolf, why is that? Why the Wisconsin? Is she your favorite Iowa? And if so, why is she your favorite Iowa? Wolf says, nice. You did the dry dock tour of Texas. Yes, sir, I did. And if you go into the ship's channel on my Discord, you probably have to scroll up a bit because it's one of the more heavily used channels in the Discord. So you may have to scroll up a good bit, but I took a bunch of pictures and I put them on the Discord. If you want me to, I can just repost them for you. So when you go to the dry dock tour, you excuse me, you have to sign two waivers. One is a liability waiver, and the other is a photo waiver, which says the short version of that is you can take all the pictures you want. Video is not allowed under any circumstances, and you cannot profit on your photos in any way, shape, or form. So I chose not to put any of the photos from the tour onto any of my YouTube videos because while I may not profit on every single video, the potential for it is there. So I just put them all on the Discord because there's no profit on Discord, at least not for me. So I don't have to worry about taking them down there. If I get a thank you chat or a super thanks or something on a video, then I violate that agreement because I've then profited it off of the photos. So I just chose not to put them in any of the videos for that reason. Let's see. Wolf says, I don't really know. I just like her, and she's the very first Iowa that I built. You're going to have to jog my memory, Wolf. Do you have a model of all four Iowas? And Wolf says, I guess one of her stories during the Korean War is pretty interesting. Fill me in on that story, Wolf. Let's hear about it. I will admit I don't know as much about Big Whiskey's history as I do Mighty Mo. Have you guys ever seen, there's one picture where all four Iowas sailed together only one time in history, and there is a picture of all four of them together. And I think they were only together for about an hour or so. That picture does exist. I saw it recently. I wanted to put it in the Discord. And actually, it probably is in the Discord. I'm sure Wolf or I posted it at some point, and I don't recall it. Wolf, I just have Wisconsin in 1/700 scale. Okay, cool. No worries. I would definitely love to have all of the Iowas at some point. And as you know, I've mentioned I'm not the biggest fan of the Missouri model that I built because it's a waterline model. I'm not a big fan of waterline models. So I have full intentions of building another Missouri at some point. Nathan's joining us. Yo, I hopped in late, but hope you are doing well. We are doing fantastic, Nathan. How has your week been, my friend? Haven't heard from you a bit. Hope you're doing well. How's work life treating you? You working at a different job, or what's going on with you? Blue says, wow, really, I've never seen that photo before, but would love to see it. Yes, that photo definitely exists, Blue. I can try to find it after the live stream and post it in the Discord. Blue also says, went aboard New Jersey when I was a kid during Fleet Week in Long Beach. That is awesome. I see a lot. I see a lot more stuff from the New Jersey Museum than I see the other Iowa class ships. Their Facebook page is really active. Nathan's still job searching. No luck yet. No worries, man. You keep grinding away on that. I'm sure you're going to find something. During Wolf says during the Korean War, USS Wisconsin was hit by a North Korean cannon. It didn't kill anyone. Well, thank goodness for that. And all it really did was just leave a hole in the deck. Then the ship proceeded to fire all the guns at it. I'll bet that didn't go too well on whoever was on the receiving end of that bombardment. In fact, actually, Wolf, you now that you mentioned that, I think I heard that story. And if it wasn't about Big Whiskey, it was about another ship. But I'm pretty sure it was about Big Whiskey. And I remember that a ship was fired on, a battleship, and they unleashed a hellacious torrent on whatever target it was, and they were signaled by another ship in the fleet. And they simply said, "Temper, temper." uh, Nathan says, "I've been playing a lot of War Thunder." Cool. Oh, and yep, there's Wolf. He's with it. The cannon was obviously destroyed, and a U.S. destroyer that witnessed the event told Wisconsin, "Temper, temper." That is a great story. Let's see. Wolf says, "I hate to bow out so soon, but I have to get dinner. I will join you again next Friday, hopefully." Well, I am so glad you joined us, Blue. I'm glad you found us, and like I said, we do this every week on Fridays, 7 Central Time. You are certainly welcome to come hang out with us anytime. So enjoy your dinner, my friend, and you have a good evening. And I will try to be there for yours and Alex's live stream tomorrow. So take care, my friend. Have a good evening. Yep, he says, take care, everyone. I'll check out your Discord as well. Well, we are certainly glad to have you there, too. Let's see. Wolf says, I've been playing a lot of War Thunder. I am not familiar with War Thunder, Nathan. Blue, very cool. Thanks, man. Take care. Great. You too, my friend. We're definitely glad to have you on board with us. Yeah, I forgot all about the temper temper thing. That is like one of the coolest stories. It kind of reminds me, since we're looking at North Carolina here, it kind of reminds me of a similar story involving North Carolina. So I forget exactly which what battle the ship was in. But North Carolina was being bombarded by aerial attacks, and she released a torrent of anti-aircraft fire that was some of the most intense this one other captain on a different ship ever seen. I think it was one of the aircraft carriers. It might have even been Yorktown, if I remember correct. But basically, the anti-aircraft fire from North Carolina was so intense, the smoke coming off the ship was almost shielding the ship. And the captain from the other ship, and again, it might be the Yorktown, but I don't remember for sure. But that ship radioed North Carolina and asked, "Are you a fire?" Because that's how much smoke from the anti-aircraft guns from the North Carolina was causing. Other captain actually thought North Carolina was on fire. So talk about intense. Wolf, any luck on selling the truck? Not yet, Nathan. I mean, yeah, Nathan asked that question. Sorry. Not yet, Nathan. Still working on it. Let's see. How much time we have left on our footage here? We've got 22 minutes. Yeah, I imagine the North Carolina footage is going to be ending here pretty soon. Oh, Wolf, that's crazy. Yes, right? And Matt says, wow. Yeah, I love that story about the North Carolina. But yeah, we have one more ship we're going to be looking at after North Carolina here. I'll keep it for a little surprise for now. It is a ship we've seen before, but you know, she's probably in the top five favorite ships. Nathan, hope you get a forerunner soon. That would be awesome. I definitely, Nathan. I am working on that. But in the meantime, we're watching North Carolina here, Wreck Shop. I have not played Warships in a bit. And I know Matt, Nathan, Wolf, all you guys play Warships. Have you guys been playing lately? Because I have not. I really haven't had time to play really any games a whole lot lately. I need to pick it back up again. Was working actually the last time I played, I was in the process of upgrading my Iowa. Will says, I haven't played much, been busy doing other things. Nathan, nope, no warships, just been dumping my time into War Thunder. Yeah, like I said, I have been busy with a lot of other things as well. Um, that tends to happen, with holiday stuff. Plus, I have been working on the model of the kid a lot in the evenings. I've actually gotten through building the kid model a whole lot quicker than what it took for me to build the USS New Orleans. Part of that being it's a larger model, even though the kid was not a larger ship in real life, but it's a larger model and it's easier. It's just so much easier to build a large ship or a larger ship. Of course, this is the New Orleans, and I'm really happy with how the model turned out, as I've said before. But it's just so small and it's so tedious getting some of these parts. I mean, like for example, you got these little guns right here that are so tiny. I'm not even sure if they're showing up on camera, and it's like not even a fourth size of my pinky fingernail. Getting in there with tweezers and having to get the cutting off the sprues so precise, it's kind of hard to see if you're when you're cutting stuff off of the sprues, how good of a job you're getting, because you don't want to actually cut part of the piece off and leave it on the sprue. It's just stuff like that. It just made building a model like this so challenging. So I can't do another model that small again. At least this is a 1 to 700. Nothing's. I will build 1 to 700s again. The Olympic is a 1 to 700. But I will not build a destroyer or a cruiser in 1 to 700 again. Ocean liner, battleship, aircraft carrier, absolutely. I probably won't even build subs in that size again. Well, again, I've never built a sub, but I don't think I would build a sub in 1 to 700 because I imagine that would be extremely small as well. Okay, so and also with it being that small, a lot of the pieces are so much more fragile than what they are on a a larger ship or a larger scale model. Matt, referencing warships, I haven't played all week from being sick, and probably won't be playing next week because I have lots of photos to edit. I know you. You got some sweet photo gigs last week. That I'm very happy for you. I wish I was able to help out with you last weekend, but man, it just wasn't meant to be. Wolf says she's so small. Yes, she is. But I'm pretty used to that scale by now. Um, have you built Wolf? Have you built any destroyers or cruisers in that size, or have you just been doing battleships and larger stuff in that scale? Because I'll tell you, I built the first model I built was the 1 to 700 Titanic Academy model, and that wasn't bad at all. But man, building a cruiser, it was so tedious. The only heavy cruiser I have built so far in 1 to 700 was Prince Eugen. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I'm not familiar with that ship. Matt says, all good. Party ran super late, and by the time I went photograph the band after the part, I didn't get home till almost 1. Oh, yeah. Even on the weekends, I'm rarely up until 1 o'clock in the morning anymore. Usually I'll try to be asleep by like midnight on the weekends. Just because I'm an early bird. I like to be up early. I like to have most of the day to where I can do stuff. Yeah, that's a long fade to black. And here we go. We're looking at our last ship for this week. And she is none other than the USS Arizona. Will says, I've built 4 destroyers with a 5th one soon to come, and 1 heavy cruiser and 1 light cruiser. And those are all in 1 to 700, Wolf? Nathan says, I didn't sleep until 4 a.m. last night. That is all you, my man. My days of staying up till 4 in the morning are definitely over. Yeah, I can't remember last time I was up that late. It's probably been a good 20 years or something. Oh, goodness. In fact, since we're talking about the 1 to 700s, so this here, Mauritania, is actually a 1 to 600 model. And look at the size difference between an ocean liner, 1 to 600, and a cruise ship, or excuse me, a cruiser at 1 to 700. Now, and even the Titanic in 1 to 700 is actually a bit larger than this, I think. I'll tell you what, you know what? Let's do an experiment. We have a 1 to 700 model sitting right in front of us. Let's do something here. So we've got Olympic right here. Let's take a look at something. Wolf says, all ships are in 1 to 700. If you count other scales I built, it would be the 2 heavy cruisers and 6 destroyers. Wolf, you're better at this than I am, because I cannot do that again. I just can't. So I'm looking for Olympic's hull. Here we go. So here you go, guys. You are seeing it first, as a matter of fact. Olympic's hull. 1 to 700 Olympic model. And I can 100% guarantee this is the Olympic's hull. Look at this. Still in the package. I have not even broken open the plastic yet. But here we go. This would be Olympic's starboard side. This is a 1 to 700 right here. Look at the size difference between a 1 to 700 ocean liner and a 1 to 700 Navy cruiser. Olympic is almost twice the length of the cruiser. So now that you're seeing that in person, you can see how much easier it would be to handle an ocean liner than it would be a cruiser in the 1 to 700 scale. And really a battleship too, because in fact, if you were doing an Iowa class battleship in this size, the 1 to 700, the Iowa class battleships were actually 5 feet longer than the Olympic class ocean liners. So that's the best way I can show you as to the size difference between a cruiser and an ocean liner in 1 to 700. All right, so let's put this back in the box. Oh yeah, and here's her instructions right there. RMS Olympic 1911. Funny that they show you on the diagram in the back how you can do the rigging, but this rigging is not completely accurate. Trust me, I know the Olympic class, and my Olympic will have a lot more rigging on it than what's in this diagram. So let's put all this back in. Okay, something's not cooperating. Let's take the hull out. Let's put these screws back in. Put the hull over here. Okay, and there we go. Nice and neat again. Okay, let's see. Wolf says Prince Eugen, or Eugen, however you say it, is a German heavy cruiser that fought during World War II. She's one of the 3 Admiral Hipper class, and she survived the war before she was given to the U.S. and nuked during tests. Okay, good to know. And wow, she's big. He's talking about the Olympic class, or the Olympic right there, way bigger than a heavy cruiser. No doubt. Arizona is such a pretty warship. She most certainly is. And I think that was one of our questions on the quiz on the channel either this week or last week was, and Wolf, of course, I know you know the answer to this. So the quiz question was, how many sister ships did the USS Arizona have? Doom 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 doom. The answer is 1. Her sister was the USS Pennsylvania, and she was the lead ship in the class. So you had USS Pennsylvania, and you had USS Arizona. And by the way, guys, we got about 10 minutes left before the footage wraps up. Stay tuned to the very end. I've got something I'm going to show you guys before we call it quits for the night. Something I think you're going to see. Stream is lagging, or maybe my internet is about to cut out. I'm not seeing any issues with the stream on my end, Matt. Will says I'm having issues too. Uh, Trying to figure out what is going on with the stream. I am trying to fix this, guys. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Oh,